Music with JB podcast. We are so excited that you tuned in tonight. I'm your host, Mario J. Brown, singer, songwriter, and CEO of MJB Music Entertainment.
Yeah, and I am JB, the other half of the MJB Music Radio Podcast Show, and so I am the CMO, and I am excited about again another day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is going to be a great show today. We promise you. We promise you. So we started this podcast to bring you everything music, education, and culture. And JB, maybe you can explain a little bit what that means.
So yeah, we generate this podcast so that we can give information for professionals that want to get involved in various different types of industry, from producers to musicians to singers to songwriters to photographers to makeup artists. And so we gather the industry professionals and we formulate this podcast so they can give you great knowledge and information into their craft and how they made it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the good thing about it, man, I promise you, everybody that will be on our show are willing to give. They all have something to give, and they're bringing this wisdom and knowledge to you for free. So make sure you tune in and tag somebody, tell somebody about it, ask questions, because it's not often that we get this kind of, that we have access to this information. It's a wealth of knowledge, I'm telling you, and you'll learn even from our guest today. So thank you for joining us. We value your time and your attention. Today's topic of discussion is the ultimate industry professional. And we all know that there takes a level of professionalism to be able to make it to certain heights. So I want to read this bio to you. Eric Brice is a world-renowned session guitarist, producer, musical director, and engineer. He has performed, toured, and recorded with greats such as Fred Hammond, my boss, ex-boss, the Winans, Thomas Whitfield, the Clark Sisters, Escape, Aaliyah, Shaka Khan, and many more. Brice resides in North Carolina. He is the husband of Miss Dina Brice, my sister, and the father of three amazing children, Erica, Evan, and Asia. So before we get into our conversation with Eric tonight, JB, why don't you tell us what our news flash culture moment of the day is?
Yeah, let me just get to it real quick. I thought I had it up, but something was going on behind the scenes. But here we go. Our news culture moment of the day is about on today. It's about Breonna Taylor. I
Yeah.
know a lot has transpired over the last 12 or 13 hours, and so on today in Louisville, Kentucky, the grand jury indicted Officer Brett Hankerson, the LMPD Louisville Metro Police Department officer alleged in the involved shooting with Breonna Taylor that ultimately led to her death. He was awarded 3 counts of wanton endangerment. So he has 3 counts of wanton endangerment. I was like, well, what is wanton endangerment? Well, in the city or in Kentucky, what that is a Class D felony, which results in a person guilty of wanton endangerment in the first degree under the circumstances by manifesting to extreme indifference to the value of life. He deliberately and in an unprovoked way, that's what wantonly means, deliberate and in an unprovoked way, engages in conduct which creates a substantial danger or death or serious physical injury to a person. So he's charged with 3 accounts of endangering Breonna Taylor. I don't know how I quite feel about that yet. I haven't let it sink in. I mean, I'm still keeping up with the case. And then also, with that being said, there was 2 officers, Jonathan Mattingly and Miles Cosgrove, that were not charged in the case at all. So a lot going on there.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's heavy. Our culture, our community is heavy. Just people all across the world, man. This time that we live in is just unbelievable, man. I've seen different perspectives from what happened today in court, and so far from what it looks like is, people, we aren't satisfied with what happened. First of all, only one cop was charged with something, and that wasn't even the murder of Breonna Taylor. It was,
That's
you know,
what
like you said, the one time, or however they phrased it.
Yeah.
So that's very challenging. That's very hard to deal with. So yeah, man, that definitely is the culture moment of the day. Is being talked about wherever you look. So I'll continue to dive in and listen to and figure out what's going on in that. But in all, man, all we can do, well, not all we can do, but one thing we need to do for sure is continue to pray. Because I don't know what's going to come of this. My wife and I were talking, and we are like, man, how do you respond? Like, how do we just continue to march? Do we continue to say Black Lives Matter? And at some point, or at what point, do things start to go a different route, if you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the culture moment of the day, man. But yeah, so you all continue to keep your head up. We'll stay on top of this, and we'll bring it back to you at a later time. But today, let's get to our music education topic of the day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So our topic today is the ultimate industry professional. Now,
Wow.
James, you know that there are professionals, there are amateurs, there are aspiring, and all kinds of industries. So we have somebody on tonight that's the ultimate industry professional, and I call him that because there's so many things that make up a professional. Not just your talent, not just your gift, but there's the little things that make you a professional, such as timeliness. My granddad taught me that if you're on time, then if you're early, then you're on time. And
Right.
so that's one of the things that I think not a lot of people even consider. But so many other things that we'll talk about tonight. So in your opinion, what does that look like? The ultimate industry professional. Who would you look at and say that?
I say your
What'd you
resume.
say?
Your resume speaks for itself. Which
Yeah.
it shows that you have if people are calling you and they're requesting you, that means you have a reputation of being a professional, and your resume will speak for itself. So I think the ultimate professional, they get work because they're known for the things we talked about earlier. Being on time, being courteous, knowing the music. When they come to work, they show up for work. That type of thing is what the industry is looking for and always seeks. And I believe that when you have those qualities, your resume will speak for itself.
Yeah. I just want to take a moment to shout out some of our viewers and listeners: Romel Austin, Denise Haskins, Michael Hester, Mark Tucker, Ricardo Springs, Kai Gage, Sylvia Holmes, Evelyn Brown, Benitria McGowan, Kevin DeHunsey, Sarai Knives, and so many others. We thank you all for joining in. And speaking of resume, man, I asked this brother for a bio earlier, and when I tell you, he sent me about 5 pages worth of just credits and people that he's worked with and been on the road with. Man, let me tell you, Doc, like you said, it speaks for itself. The ultimate industry professional. So without further ado, let's welcome the legend himself, my big brother and friend, Mr. Eric Brice. What's going on, bro? Welcome to the show.
How you
Good
doing?
to have you. Doing great, man. Doing great. How you feeling tonight? Everything good?
Man, I feel great. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome,
happy
man.
to be here. Happy to hang out with you guys, man. Miss you.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Wow, man.
Songwriter for sure.
Oh my God, that is the ultimate compliment.
Because I also like Smokey Robinson too. I think Smokey Robinson.
Boy,
and, Nick and Val. At Nick Ashford and Simpson. I love them.
Wow.
You? That's a whole nother level.
See, I'm gonna have to rewind this tape and play it, and because that's very encouraging, man. And yeah, I miss you too, man. I thank you all just for joining us and being a friend, a mentor, and just kind of helping give me some guidance throughout the years, and just being somebody that even when I don't have to call you, I can look at you from a distance and learn. You know what I mean, and just still be a sponge and watch how you move, and that's important, man. So thank you for being a great example to so many of us, man. For real.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we want to jump into some things tonight. We want you to share your heart. Feel free to go wherever God leads you. We do have some questions that I want to ask you. Number one, we start off with this pretty much with every guest. Just some groundwork. Take us down the journey to how things started for you and how you made it to where you are now.
Oh man, well, I've done this a couple of times. It seemed like the past couple months I've done a couple of interviews, so I don't. The story is I have one aunt who said that I could really like. I always love guitars for sure. I always love music, and come out of the uh, Holiness Church, Fire Baptized Holiness to be exact, and that was the sound, man. And they said I could figure stuff out at the age of 3 on a guitar. And they asked me if I remember.
Wow.
I don't remember that. I remember just loving guitars, loving music, and I'm just a fan of it. You know what I mean? And I've always had a guitar dragging around the house, but I think I got pretty serious with it maybe around 13, 14. Got into it and actually tried to figure out what I was doing. And that worked fairly well. Playing in church and playing in a few bands, you know, funk bands. I like funk music, you know. But yeah, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it started. I had some pretty good mentors. In high school, I had Dr. Lemuel Dokes at Mumford High School. I went to Mumford for 1 year, and this man impacted my life greatly that year. I went there, man. I ran into Fred. Fred was my classmate, Mitch Jones, Fred Hammond, Mitch Jones, Derek Brinkley, Daniel Winans, that's Lisa Brooks. Man, I was there for 1 year, and I was mortified, looking, you know, because everybody around it seemed like everybody could sing or something, you know. But I learned a lot that year, and I made some decisions the next couple of years to go for it. You know, a lot of guys from the band, the Dramatics, who also ended up being the backbone to Boosie's Rubber Band and Dr. Dre. And that whole West Coast sound is Detroit, y'all. That ain't that's not West Coast, it's Detroit. Tony Green and, you know, Butch Smalls, and, you know, Ricky Rouse. Those were guys that mentored me. Raymond Johnson, Darnell Kimbrough. You know, those are guys that mentored me. Victor Adams, he's down there in Atlanta with you guys. They mentored me and kind of pushed me in the right direction to show me what to do, what not to do. It was really a gift, you know.
Wow.
And I just started mulling around. Kern Brantley, my man Kern. He, oh God, Jeff Stanton. These Detroit boys, but yeah, that's who I came through here with.
Man, you know what? I wasn't even gonna go this route, but it's amazing to me that you can credit so many people that have influenced your life and that you came up with. I just wonder how many of our young musicians now will be able to say the same thing that you said. Like they'll be able to name so and so helped me, so and so was, you know, what's the culture like at this moment, and is that missing?
Well, you know, you have to be available. You got first of all, you gotta know when you're not a kid anymore and you're in the elder mode. You got to know when that clock is turned for you to start giving back. I'll be crazy if I didn't mention Miss Kim Weston. Miss Kim Weston is like my music industry mama, and they actually paid us to learn how to do what we're doing. But the elder cats who are still trying to be in the game, now who are still in the game, the industry is relatively young. It's relatively young, Mario J. There was nobody for me to look like a whole lot of gospel guitar players for me to look up to when I came through here. When they started talking about contemporary music, wasn't many. Everybody that we talk about that's crazy and dope right now, the Jonathan Duboses, the Spankies, you know, Chris Johnson, those are all actually my contemporaries. And a lot of us, you know, we have not all passed away. And a lot of us are still being very relevant in the game. Wow. So that's how young it is. It's just that young. Goucher, you know what I mean? Percy, you know, Darius, Steve Huff, Kevin Brunson, all up through there. There was a cat in Milwaukee, Reggie Royal. He was crazy.
Yes,
Benji,
sir.
Benji Love.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Ford. Yeah, we still here. A lot of us are still here, man. And
Yeah.
you know, but you know, if the guys give back, yeah, they'll have the same story. I'm always apt to give back. Well, at least I'm open.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later too.
Yeah.
So
Right.
did you like many other artists? We talked to a guitar player on Monday, Sean Hinton. Started out on drums and then elevated and started learning other instruments. So besides the guitar, do you play any other instruments fluently?
I can play drums a little bit. I play bass. I play piano somewhat. I can give you a few good hymns or whatever. You
Okay.
know, if you ask me to come do the date with you, though, I'll probably decline. And I was like, let me look at my Rolodex and get you somebody much better than me. But if you put me on the spot and I have to sit there and play, I can get through it. We'll be all right. We'll be fine.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yes, sir, man. And if I'm not mistaken, are you left-handed or do you just learn to play like a lefty?
No, I'm a lefty. And I play right-hand guitars. I play right-handed guitars. I just flip them and go.
Upside down.
Yeah, I flip them and go. That's how I take off.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's been that way for a minute. And
so let me ask you this: Do you have to restring it where the G or the E, the low E is on the top? Do you have to restring it that way, or do you just know how to play it?
No, for me, the low E is on the bottom.
Oh, so you don't restring it or nothing?
No, I just turn it. I just turn it over.
Flip it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought that was interesting because I don't know that I've ever seen like that's not too common, is it?
Well, you know, it's not common at all. But some of my favorites, some of my actual true favorites are lefties, and this list is kind of, it could be long. No, it's short. There's Albert King, the famous legendary blues artist. Albert was lefty. They played righty. Bobby Womack, who I absolutely adored, was a lefty that played righty. You know, he used to play with Sam Cooke, and a lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
Chris Johnson, that plays with Shirley Caesar, is another lefty that plays righty guitars. And if anybody know anything about Chris Johnson, he's crazy. Then there's one more cat that's running around here from Memphis, but he lives in Greensboro. And if you hadn't seen him, he's really creating a wave. His name is Eric Gales. And Eric Gales is amazing.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yes. Fred Mans, who wrote Uphold Me with Thy Sweet Spirit with Ronald Winans. Fred is a lefty that plays right-handed guitars. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Fred, wherever you are. Bad dude, man.
Yes, sir. I'll ask you a technical question in terms of guitar. Like, do you have a favorite guitar or brand, and why?
Well,
anything you prefer?
I have flavors of the month, flavors of the day. I love Strats. Lately, I've been playing I play a Paul Reed Smith, and I wasn't nobody playing it that much when everybody's playing them now. But when I started with Israel and New Breed years ago, that was the guitar that I used to get into his sound or whatever. There's another kid there, Natural, Juan Nahara, and he made me like PRSs. But I play Strats right now. I'm playing a Les Paul. I'm having a blast with it. But no, I believe that each guitar has a different tenor and a tone. So I just, you look around the room, I got guitars all over the place. Over there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you get to, it's just like having a toolbox full of screwdrivers, which you don't use a flathead when you need a Phillips.
Come on.
Yeah.
But they just tools, though. You know what I mean? I don't cover them all the way.
Got you.
I don't name them no more or nothing like that. It's that. Yeah.
I know Lucille around there, do you?
Huh?
You ain't got no Lucille laying around there, do you?
No. They all have their place.
Sure.
They all have their place, but they know names. They Jane Does. They all Jane Does. I won't name them. Somebody stole a guitar from me years ago, and it was actually a guitar I used to use a lot with Thomas Whitfield. And I went in church. The choir was doing something crazy, and I got them together. By the time I came out, my cousins had torn my car to pieces, and I knew that the guitar was gone. And that guitar, I had named it. I won't even say what the name was, but you know, and I got chin checked by God. He's like, "Yeah, man, use covenant." I was like, "Got you, got you."
Wow.
So I never cover another thing, anything.
Sure.
You know, wow. He's number one.
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's a good lesson too. So, you know, our topic was the ultimate, or is the ultimate industry professional. So I want to kind of dive into that so we can help some people tonight. So I read your bio, the long list of major artists that you've worked with and recorded with and toured with. Can you tell us what it takes to not only land the gig, but to also keep the phone ringing?
Being relational keeps the phone ringing. Being relational will help you get the gig as well. Being personable. I'm actually, you know, a lot of people when they probably start laughing, and you'll probably hear them coming across the airwaves. I'm actually an introvert. I'm actually an introvert, but to do this thing right now, you have to. What I recognized was if I was going to meet Thomas Whitfield, I had to find Thomas Whitfield and say hello to Thomas Whitfield and actually meet him. So many times I see young cats today, they just, you know, they sitting there waiting, they sitting at the crib waiting on their turn, or they'll sit there, they'll get online and it's a new thing. They'll just strum along. It's something I'm working on. I'm strumming like somebody's gonna look on there and say, "Oh man, I like him. Let me call him." That's not how it goes.
Right.
You have to go out and meet the people. You have to find them where they are, and you know, with a little bit of thought process and wisdom. I wasn't looking for Kiss or, you know, none of those. I knew who I was looking for, so I found them and I dealt with them. Yeah. You have to be forward.
Yeah, that's key. Relational. So
you have to, yeah.
Definitely take that away. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You know, I wanted to ask you too. So, you know, I my wife and I, my family, we lived in Charlotte for a couple of years, and so while in Charlotte, I noticed that you were what I call the general of the local music community. Like I felt like you were the glue. I really did. I felt like you were the glue that brought everybody together, and you were that centerpiece, that you know, that post that was needed there. So, what is your ultimate vision for the city of Charlotte and the surrounding areas?
You know, that's a great question that I actually don't have a really good answer to. I just do the work. I'm just kind of like following God and flowing in life. You know what I mean? And my gift is my number one asset. It's the weapon. You know what I mean? So I use it to reach the people and just try to help them whenever I can and do my part. You know, do my part to make the world better. You know, I won't say that it's totally church driven. I kind of like for the world to be better, and not really for me, for my sons and my grandsons, your girls and their kids. You know, we haven't done a good job of taking care of Mother Earth, and you know, they deserve to have the experience of a good world just like we have.
Yeah.
You know, most times I'm just cool with my people, man. You know. I'm a giver.
Yeah, for sure. And I think coming from another city, like just recognizing that culture, the difference in cultures, that's something that I picked up from you all, because I was like, man, like I can tell that you really had a heart for everybody and anybody that was connected to that city. And the one thing you always say is, that's one of ours. Like, he's one of ours, she's one of ours. And I think that it goes so far. You know what I mean? That means something to everybody that embraces that, because they know that Eric, he's proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's proud of his city, he's proud of the musicians that come out from around here.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. If you did it, I did
and you treated us, and I deemed you the general of Charlotte, North Carolina.
it. The general.
That's what
Yeah.
and somebody else might
Uh-oh.
some.
Uh-oh.
Slowing down a little bit. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You got me?
I got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Looks like some shit.
So this when you're alone, nobody's around.
Pardon?
No Dina. No,
Yeah, he's
no Asia. No Evan or
Mario.
Mario. He's
when you're
frozen.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario's a big part of that, Jay. You still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he gonna
Mario talk.
That's fine. Yeah, he'll come back.
Yeah, Mario's a big part of a ministry we have called The Experience.
Okay.
And The Experience was started with me and a sister of mine, Stacy Joseph from New Breed. She had moved here and she was working on a project. I was working on a project, and we felt like that we needed to test our songs to see if we had good songs.
Okay.
And Stacy actually saw a sign in a coffee shop that said musicians wanted.
Uh-huh.
And we were just riding down the street. She's like, Brice, let's go in that coffee shop. And I was like, for what? She's like, let's go see what the sign is all about. I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm not kidding. So when we got there, the girl said, well, I'll tell you right now, it was a sister. And I live in Mount Holly, North Carolina. Mount Holly's got to be 80-20 white, black.
Okay.
So here was a sister in Mount Holly trying to sell coffee in a coffee shop.
Okay.
And we go in there and they have this little entertainment. The stage it's not a huge stage at all. And the girl said, well, I tell you what, she said, I can get y'all in here, but you can't get in here on Friday until it was like 3 months later. It was like, we really don't want Fridays. We were traveling with New Breed.
Right.
We said, can we try Monday? You know, we usually get home on Monday. And she's like, really? You think you could fill the place up on a Monday? I was like, I don't know, but let's just try it. All I say is, if you close at 7, just stay open for 2 more hours.
Yeah.
Man, and the band was literally myself on acoustic guitar, my wife Dina, and Stacy. That was it.
Okay.
All the musicians came out. All the singers came out. They bought up all the ladies' coffee, bought up all her fraps. She had cakes. We packed the place out. You had lawn chairs, the folding chairs out front, and it became a phenomenon. That's how, if there was anything such thing as a general, that's how I got to be the general, because I held that event. And that's actually where I met Mario. Mario, let me tell you about this cat. Mario gave me a CD.
Uh-huh.
He gave me a CD, and I can't even find one in here. I don't even have one in here. The CD was it was blank.
Okay.
Now, I'm looking at the CD like, this cat. Man, I put that CD in.
Yeah.
And it tore me to pieces. I was like, dude, it was like 3 weeks later.
Right.
I was like, bro, what in the world what is this? And from that point on, I knew who he was.
Yeah.
And we've been friends ever since. But we've done that event now for over 12 years. Wow. The ministry flourished over 12 years. So in and out of that ministry, a bunch of cats, the KJ Scrivens and Chandler Moores and the Travis Greens, and at that time, my dear friends Melvin and Tanisha Crispell.
Wow.
So Trey was running around here. He was a little kid running around here, and that's everything that happened. It just happened right there. Evan and the musicians, they just started sitting in. We never really paid. They just like, man, can I play?
Wow.
1 week is a bongo player. The next week the bass player came. The next week we had a drummer. So it was fairly honest. And it's like, man, we got to do an admission. And then the admission became a canned good.
Wow.
So as we did it, we blessed the city again by doing a food bank. But the coolest part about that Java Bean experience was those two sisters sold more coffee that night than they would all week.
Wow.
They would sit there all day long for 6 days. But that one evening between 7 and 9, they sell more. They sell out. So yeah. So that's how I became the general. Yeah, I'm glad you're back, Mario.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, I don't know. I don't know if you were able to answer the question or even heard it before I got cut off. But I was asking you, what do you think about most when you're alone? Is that what you were just answering?
No, I didn't. What I think about most when I'm alone?
Yeah, when nobody, no family's around you, like what's on Eric's mind when you're all by yourself? What's the thing that's always present?
I'm talking to the Most High, brother. I just sit there. He won't let me be alone. I'm talking to him all the time. And I just think about my dismount. What do I want my dismount to be? I want what on this earth, because right now, surely he's got my attention to the point that I believe that there's immediately something better on the other side. This can't be it. Where we are and what we're doing right now, there's no way this can be it.
Right.
I'm not tripping about it, but neither at this point am I afraid of being with the Father. So I spend time, I talk to him and I see things, I ask him what he wants me to do, and then I think about what I want to do, and then I ask him, is it okay if I think about what I want to do? And then I try to love on my family as much as I could do that and hang out with them and share with my friends and enjoy life.
Wow.
Absolutely. That's good. Yeah. So as a creative, man, somebody that, makes music, writes music as well, comes up with different progressions and chords, where do you find inspiration? Like what inspires you?
Man, I find inspiration, everywhere. I find it in other great musicians, other great singers, old music. I love old music. I like chord changes and I like tech too. I love I love computers, man. Like to the point that I go in the back of them and trip on them. And I like new software. I like sounds. I love sounds. I just happened to start on guitar, but I realized that I actually just love sounds.
Wow.
What's one so a lot, and then I like silence.
Yes, sir.
I found that I kind of almost like silence more than I like sound.
Wow. Come on here now.
A lot of times it's what you don't say, it's what you don't play. Wow. That's the most important.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The world don't need your input all the time.
Yeah. Man,
you don't have to comment on everything. Just let it all go by sometime.
Wow.
And see what happens.
That to me correlates with music. It correlates with music. When I hear you play, it's just so much feel and it's tasteful. Like as skilled as you are, I don't hear you're not a busy player. It's everything is intentional. Everything has its place. And it seems like that's how you go about life. You know what I'm saying? The same exact way.
Well, I think the most important people on the earth are the listeners. How valuable is a good listener to you? So I've actually made an effort to be a really good listener, and just listen to people, and I listen to the sound of the world. I listen to the sound of the earth. I listen, and try to hear his voice through other people, and I hear the music through what I hear outside of it. You know what I mean? Less is always more to me. I tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I've made more money with 2 notes and 1 note than trying to do something that's self-indulgent and impressive to a body of people who don't buy records.
Right.
You know the ones stand up against the wall and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was sweet." They never buy records.
them very people. They
Yeah,
want to be entertained. Don't want to
yeah,
pay for nothing.
yeah. I always play for the song.
That's
I
Yeah.
good.
always play for the song. You know,
Yes, sir.
if I'm just here by myself most of the time, I may be playing for him a lot. Then a lot of times I just play for me.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. That's what's up. Wow. So give our viewers and listeners some insight on your amazingly talented family, starting with your wife
Ooh.
to
Oh,
your super talented, athletic youngest son, Asia.
okay. Well, before that, before I get there, let me just say I missed one. Is my stepdaughter Shantia, and today happens to be her birthday. So wherever she is, happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Tia. And you want me to start with Asia? Asia's 17. Asia's 6'2". Asia's very talented in the sports uh, uh, area, sports arena, this sports area. He plays quarterback, wide receiver, and unlike his dad, he can dunk a basketball, but he also plays bass and drums, which neither one of them he care to deal with right now. He's kind of got a one track mind with his sports thing. Him and
Sports.
my other son, my middle guy, Evan, my oldest son, who's quite amazing musician, but
Yes,
he think he
sir.
can ball too. You know what I mean? But you know,
What?
uh, yeah, he's they hang out together and work out. But Evan's a
Okay.
great musician. Evan plays keys and drums, and he's an amazing producer,
Yes,
crazy
he is.
engineer. We kind of one and the same in that regard, and he's done his share of touring, recording, writing. Quite proud of him. He travels with the Anthony Hamiltons and the SWVs and the
Yeah.
JoJo's and the Ushers of the world. He gets around pretty good. Then I have a daughter in Dallas, Texas, Erica, who's quite a singer as well. She's quite a vocalist. She leads worship
Mm.
at her church, and when she has spare time, she'll go hang out with Fred Hammond and do stuff with his warehouse
Oh yeah.
choir thing. But she's working on her own stuff, and mainly right now she's being a great wife and mother to her family. That's what she's doing. And there's Dina Brice, who I'm
Yes,
married
yes,
to, and
yes.
I
The
met
one and
Dina.
only.
She was singing when I met her, and
Wow.
she can sing. Dina's toured with. Well, when we got together, when I first met her, we were touring with People Bryson, uh, and then we left there and we did A Good Man Is a Hard to Find. We actually did that production together. Did I say anything about Donald Lawrence? Donald Lawrence put me in all these situations. We'll go back to him, but that's really my guy. Donald
Wow.
Wow.
Lawrence, we're like brothers. That's my guy. We grew up playing in church together, and my first really major R&B gig with Stephanie Mills. Donald called me for that. He was actually the MD, and he called me for the Peebo gig, and then what else did we do after that? Then we left to play, and then we did Aaliyah together. So that was kind of
That's
hip.
special.
Man, we are breaking up like crazy. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's probably my internet jack leg. Okay, so yeah, those are my people. I have a cousin. I have a couple of cousins who were inspiration to me. Jim Hogan, who's the dad, and James Tootie Hogan, who's his son. But Tootie was like my big cousin, who really he's the first cat I saw that really was making it out there. He started touring in the heyday of Roberta Flack. He was touring with Roberta Flack back in the day. So he was the cat that I looked at and I saw him doing it, and I was like, yeah, man, I want to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he had the suits with the shoes to match the Lincoln Continental. He big afro. I wanted all of that. So,
Mhm.
diamond rings, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something, man. Yep. Amazing. Super talented family. And I know that you are just beyond proud and blessed and, happy to just see what's in you be able to be passed down to generations, man. That's
Oh
just a
yeah.
beautiful feeling. Yes,
Oh yeah.
sir. And Miss Dana is oh my gosh, she is amazing. That woman would frighten me at the Java Bean because I'm like, I can't get up behind her. No, I'm not singing tonight. Not at all. No, sir. But I learned so much from her, just even in her flow and her
Yeah.
passion, man. So shout out to Dana Brice, man, and she's family as well. So yes, sir. But I wanted to ask you, have you ever failed at something? And what did you learn from this experience?
Oh yeah. I fell a couple good times. I don't know if it's a failure or if it's time. I just look at this whole game as a journey. You know what I mean? It's this whole game of life is a journey. And I just
Hmm.
believe for certain people, certain events, certain times, if you look at it like Amtrak, like a train line, your ticket may not go all the way from one end to the next. Your ticket may only go from one city to one in between, and it's time for you to get off. So a lot of times when I thought they were failures, it's more of that. Man, I went out one year and I auditioned for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they scared me half to death. Verdine White scared me half to death. I'm gonna tell you, and I didn't get that gig, and I wasn't really that bummed out about it because there were guys that were actually just better, and they had a better showing with their auditions. And auditioning was never my thing. If you ask me to audition right now, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care what you got. Well,
Yeah.
Right.
somebody else can do it, but I'm not. I don't have that gift. I just Mm-mm. So no, I failed that, and yeah, I got a few good failures. I have a
Yeah.
few good failures, but
Got you. Got you. Well, yeah, that's some of the things that helps to, you know, teach others, you know what I mean, just to understand that we all fail at something. You know what
you
I mean? And
always,
we
yeah,
can look at
yeah,
yeah, that's what helps us grow. So
yeah,
thank you for
yeah,
being willing to share that.
yeah.
So you've let me see. You've been blessed to accomplish things that some only dream of. How do you define success? And are there things that you are still seeking to achieve?
Uh, for me at this stage of the game, I equate success with happiness. If you're happy,
Mm,
it's not if you're rich, if you have a whole lot of stuff, or you doing this particular engagement, you got this assignment with this gig or that gig, or you with this mega church, or no, I mean, you're just doing the work. That's all it is. It's assignments. You know, uh, Success is happiness for me. If I'm happy, I feel successful.
yes, sir. Mm,
Wow.
yes, that's
Yeah.
good. JB, did you have anything?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. So, what was one of your favorite gigs? Like, what was one of your best experiences being a musician on the road? Like, what would be your favorite experience?
Hmm.
I'm sure you probably got a lot of them.
Yeah, I do. It's like really funny. I'll just say that going back to Donna Lawrence, I traveled with Stephanie Mills. We did that almost with literally the same band. Kevin Bond was a part of that band. A couple of guys from Cincinnati, Woo Wilkerson, uh, Joe Davis, Anthony Smith, Flip Kirby. They're like brothers to me. Anytime you can know somebody from 20, 30 years ago, you can know them by name, and you still call, you still talk, you still hang out, you still share. That's a good part of it. I think I had a couple of things, man. One, Israel and New Breed, man. Wow. The South Africa album.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, that
Favorite
was,
album too.
huh?
That's one of my favorite albums by Israel.
Oh
Nobody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that experience was amazing to be able to go to the motherland and see and actually walk on that continent.
Yeah.
Blessed me so, and then the way that they worshiped, I learned a whole lot about worship. I learned a lot about, dealing with New Breed at that time. I learned a lot about myself and what God was requiring out of me,
Wow.
and a lot of that played a big part of it. So that was one of my favorite things. Playing with the Detroit Symphony. We would do gospel at the symphony. I was a young man. We'd do gospel at the symphony and sitting in the middle. I don't know if you ever get a chance to sit in the middle of an orchestra.
Yeah.
Violins and violas and all of that, man. I just felt like I was gonna faint.
Wow.
It's the prettiest thing you ever want to hear. And I was here, and 2 feet over was the conductor. So I'm literally almost in the middle of this thing. But I did that for a couple of years. That was like really cool. Yeah. I always love commission. Commission, those are my brothers. You know what I mean? So any of those, but also I did a gig once with the Winans.
Okay.
They would do a Christmas show, and on this Christmas show, this particular, you're gonna freak out. It was BB and CC, Take Six,
wow,
and the Winans.
Wow.
And BB and CC had just done Hold Up the Light.
Yeah.
And every finale, well, was it every finale? One finale. I do remember one finale. All it Take Six was on stage. All of the Winans were on stage. Whitney Houston came out on stage.
What?
And Stevie Wonder was following her
What?
on stage. That right there.
Legendary.
Yeah, that was good stuff. John P. Key was James Brown's guest. He has a birthday bash every year. He had that. And I went down there and played in Augusta and played the birthday bash with John, Pastor Key, and got a chance to meet James Brown.
Wow.
And then on top of that, he invited everybody up on stage for a finale. So you couldn't tell me nothing again. I'm on stage with with Soul Brother number one.
Man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's just butterflies. It's a whole, maybe, we have to do another one. I could talk about this kind of stuff for forever.
Yes, sir.
Traveling with the Clark sisters was amazing. They're like family to me. They're like sisters to me. Of course, Thomas Whitfield, the Whitfield Company is always family. I got a lot of gospel stuff. Derek Starks is like my brother. So yeah, God's been good.
Yeah,
he's been good to me in that regard, and he's been faithful. And I just kind of been doing the work. I love the Williams brothers. I've been working with them for over 30 years. Still working and traveling with Melvin, and he turned me on to some guys named the Christianaires. So I meet this Paul Porter guy, and we've been like brothers for forever.
Wow.
So
right.
The calls just come because we're cool at this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
The calls just come because we're cool at this point. Ray Hammond called me when they got ready to do this commission reunion. And, Ray was my roommate back in the day. So the call was, man, can you still play? And the response was, are you breathing?
Right.
If you can still breathe, man, I can still play. So, yeah. That's all of that.
Commission's coming out with another reunion, right?
Well, COVID, we did this was just last year. We did the reunion in November and in August or whatever. So we were scheduled to come back out in April.
Okay.
And COVID had us, so we weren't able to do it. But yeah, we probably do something else. It was a lot of fun. I hope so.
Oh yeah. Sure. Man, speaking of can't play, I got a request for you, man. I know you got a guitar around there close by your side somewhere.
Oh, that's terrible.
But check it out.
What?
And let me tell you what I want to hear. This is the song that when I would come to the
he done broke up.
Being
I know I'm here
every time.
I'm just stuck.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening to him.
So I wanna hear you play a little bit of what's going on, man. I hope it picks up well in this mic, because Lord Jesus.
I don't know.
Put him on the spot. Come on here now.
And I just happen to have a guitar.
Look at let's ask it.
There it is.
How about that? Can I stop now?
Good Lord, yeah. You talk about a vibe. The young kids say it's a vibe. No, that's a vibe right there. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You are crazy.
Oh my goodness, yes, sir.
Man, there's nothing.
The
to
one
that.
and only Eric Brice, man.
Right.
I'm just doing the work, Mario. I'm just trying to do the work. I want to die empty. I don't want to leave nothing here,
man.
Wow,
that's what it's about.
Yeah, I don't want to leave anything here. I want to be able to have done everything that my journey requires of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, man. I only got a couple more questions for you. I appreciate you even being on as long as you have.
Okay.
If you can get a large group of talented individuals in one room, young people in one room, what message would you make sure that they hear?
Just musicians?
Just musicians. Or singer, songwriter, everything under that umbrella.
Oh, I mean, the main thing is listening to the next person, listening to the next guy. Open your ears up to hear everything that's happening around you. And don't be so quick to play. A lot of times it sounds good because you're not playing. It sounds great because you're not singing.
Wow.
Be mindful of the space. Be mindful of the space and just be cool. A lot of times, especially in a live situation, I don't hear the note as much as I feel your vibe. I can feel your vibe. Wow. Crazy. If you're arrogant, I can feel it.
Wow.
Your whole flow, everything you play is arrogant. I can feel it.
Wow.
You. So, I don't know. I would just tell them to listen more.
Yeah.
Listen more. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to all of the details. The small things. The small things. Yeah. I'm a Dennis Rodman fan. I'm a Dennis Rodman fan. Dennis, prior to him wearing wedding dresses and going on, Dennis did all the grunt work, all the stuff that wasn't even really popular.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
until they kept saying, when this guy's getting 17 rebounds, he's getting 18 rebounds. You know, he got 23 rebounds the other night. Then all of a sudden it became a thing. And the Pistons are winning. What's going on? This was right way before Chicago and wherever else he went. And he was the guy that was doing all the little things that mattered.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll keep you working.
Yes, sir.
That will keep you working.
I specifically asked you that question because number one, I know you have a heart for, for musicians and creatives and things like that. So, and the other thing is your season. You know, you're somebody that's got experience that I and others need to, look up to and kind of just hear from. Yeah. So I just appreciate, the message that you would share, that you have shared, because God forbid anything happen, we got it on tape. Like, this is something that, Eric left with us.
Wow.
Take this to heart,
Well, I'm listening to them. So, I'm listening to them now and being really, and, there's nothing, I'm really listening because I care about what's happening in our social climate. And these kids they're going to have it kind of rough, man. So I'm listening to them to see where they're coming from. I'm listening to their music to see where they're coming from, to hear what they have to say. So, so that I can best help them, if I can. A Japanese proverb says, when the student is ready, the teacher will come.
Yeah.
So I don't force myself on anybody. I just wait it out. I mean, when you want to know something, if you think that I have the answer, I'm here for you.
Yes, sir.
But I give credit to the Most High God. He's the one. He supplied the journey that gave me the wisdom and the experience to help the next person. And I simply do this real simple. I do it because a lot of people help me. Sister Maddie Moss Clark helped me. You know what I mean? Tommy helped me. Pastor Cleveland helped me. Pastor James Cleveland helped me. Donald helped me. I got some cool mentors, man. Yeah. Charles Nix helped me. Edwin Hawkins helped me. I got some great mentors. This is I'd be remiss if I didn't pass it on.
Yeah.
So I'm available to the next set of cats. So you gonna sing me a song now?
I'm the host. I talk on the show now. We'll let JB do.
No, you do
the same.
You want me to say?
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, like I said before, I'm truly, truly grateful, to just even have access to you. I think that means the most to me, that the fact that you are accessible, available, and not only that, but you're willing to share, and it goes beyond music. The fact that you're just a genuine guy and, loves his family, loves my family, that it goes beyond music, man. So I appreciate you. And just again, thank you so much for just sharing your time with us and your expertise. And, this won't be the last time that we have you on. We want to kind of scratch the surface and just kind of get into your heart a little bit. And I'm sure that our listeners and viewers are blessed. This podcast, we've been blessed. It's growing. We've been doing
this is our awesome.
Second season. Thank you, man. Thank you. We're working hard behind the scenes. The most important thing is the audio, that we're trying to extract from here. It'll be uploaded on Apple Music Podcast, which is already available. So yeah, you can subscribe, and anybody that's connected or listening now, you all can subscribe. And James will tell you about that too. So yeah, man, I think today was a great show, a great time spent, and very valuable, man. Again, thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough, and we'll definitely be in touch for some things in the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, I had fun. Thanks for inviting me.
Man.
Oh yeah.
And it was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, sir. I'll see you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like Atlanta. Are you in Atlanta, Jay?
No, I'm in Milwaukee.
You're in Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah. I'm after. Do you do virtual guitar lessons?
I will for you.
Okay, well then, all right, we're gonna talk off the.
If you don't practice, I'm gonna quit on you though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Come
practice.
on.
I got
you. Yeah, I give them to you.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Sure.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
All right, take care, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, be
Much
good.
love.
God bless you.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yeah.
JB?
We did it, man. We got through
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We made it through it. Yeah, we apologize for any inconveniences, any technical difficulties. I hear my mic is not sounding the best right now, but hey, it happens sometimes, and we're going to continue to get better and grow, and this podcast will continue to be a success. So thank you all for tuning in and listening. JB, tell them how often we're on, where they can subscribe, and all that good stuff, man.
Yeah. So we're on Facebook Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 p.m. East, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are also on. So you can subscribe to our podcast at MJB Musik with JB. You can subscribe now. Sean Hinton's already on there from the Monday night. This will be on there tomorrow, so you can subscribe to this show and get this show tomorrow. And then you can also see us on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, yes, yes. So again, if you guys missed any of this, it will be available for you to replay and listen to. And yeah, it's good stuff, man. So thank you all. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great, great night. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.